In 1792, revolutionaries forced King Louis XVI to wear a distinctive red cap, cementing it as the ultimate badge of French defiance. Look closely at the official seal of the United States Senate, and you'll find that exact same hat sitting right atop the federal shield. Travel to South America, and it appears carved into stone on the Argentine coat of arms, adopted as a symbol of anti-colonial independence. It even infiltrated global pop culture, becoming the required uniform for every single Smurf. It is a soft, conical cap with the tip bent forward. Across continents and centuries, it has become the universally recognized icon of liberty and freedom from tyranny. There is just one problem. The connection between this specific hat and Western democracy is the result of a massive historical mistranslation by 18th century revolutionaries. Before it was co-opted by Republicans and rebels, this hat had absolutely nothing to do with freedom. To find out what it actually meant, we have to rewind 2,800 years and travel to the rugged mountains of ancient Anatolia. Because long before it became a symbol of democracy, this cap belonged to the subjects of a gold-hoarding Eastern king. The Anatolian Peninsula, modern-day Turkey, functioned as an incredibly lucrative land bridge connecting two completely different worlds. To the west were the emerging Greek city-states. To the east sat the massive, aggressive empires of Assyria and Persia. Caught in this middle ground was the Phrygian Empire. From their capital city of Gordion, they were ruled by a man named King Midas, the historical figure who inspired the Greek myth of King Midas. The stories of Midas turning everything to gold were myths, but the wealth was real. The Phrygians constructed a burial mound 50 meters high for Midas' predecessor, an engineering feat requiring staggering amounts of organized labor and resources. By controlling the trade flowing through this geographic choke point, the Phrygians accumulated enough wealth to command the attention and envy of the entire ancient Mediterranean. They weren't the only ones getting rich. Their neighbors, the Lydians, ruled from the city of Sardis under King Croesus. Archaeologists excavating Sardis have unearthed an expansive industrial complex dedicated entirely to refining gold and silver. The sheer volume of precious metals processed here made Croesus proverbially wealthy. To survive the harsh, freezing winters of the Anatolian highlands, the everyday people living in these wealthy empires wore a highly practical piece of clothing, a soft leather cap equipped with long ear flaps and a distinct forward-bending peak. When the poorer, neighboring Greeks encountered these people, they fixated on the hat. In Greek art, placing this specific bent cap on a figure became a reliable visual shorthand for an exotic, wealthy Easterner. The cap lost all its original context as practical winter wear. Thanks to Greek artists, it was permanently rebranded as a rigid symbol of Eastern foreignness. Centuries later, when the Roman Empire conquered Greece, they absorbed Greek artistic traditions. Roman sculptors used the Phrygian cap to depict captured Easterners or exotic foreigners on monuments. But the Romans had their own culturally significant hat, called the Pileus. Physically, the Pileus was completely different, a simple, round felt dome that lacked the bent peak of the Phrygian cap. The Pileus served a highly specific legal function. It was a ceremonial cap placed on the head of a Roman slave upon their manumission, signifying their new legal status as a free citizen. In classical Rome, the symbolism was strictly divided. The bent Phrygian cap meant foreigner or barbarian, while the dome-shaped Pileus meant a newly freed citizen. The two concepts existed side by side without ever mixing. Fast forward to the 18th century. Revolutionaries in France and America combed through ancient Roman history, searching for powerful visual symbols to legitimize their fight against the monarchy. They wanted the Pileus to symbolize their liberation. But when they looked at classical artwork, they made a catastrophic visual error and confused the dome-shaped Pileus with the bent Phrygian cap. This typo instantly cemented itself into American iconography, landing squarely on the pole held by Ceded Liberty on 19th century U.S. currency. In France, the error became national identity. The avatar of the French Republic, Marianne, was sculpted wearing the incorrect Phrygian cap, sealing the mistake. The mighty, gold-hoarding empires of Phrygia and Lydia were eventually erased by conquest, but the everyday winter hat of their people survived through a massive historical typo, leaving the legacy of King Midas's subjects flying on flagpoles around the globe as the ultimate emblem of liberty.